This is the next episode of True Wrestling Fan Discussions, continuing our retro pay-per-view review series. This is going to be WWE Summerslam 2003. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank, man. Let's get into it. It's not as action-packed as the card the year before, but it still had one hell of a main event. Actually, a double main event, if you want to call it. Some interesting things happening, and I love this time of year because, well, that year in '03, because it looked like Vince was on a permanent vacation wearing them button-down shirts like he was going to the islands or something. I don't know. I'm always used to him seeing in a suit or tux, so him in a button-down open, it was just weird for me. But let's get into it. August 24th, 2003, from Phoenix, Arizona. 16,113 on hand for this. Buy rate wasn't bad, 415,000 purchased it. Of course, you got JR and Lawler doing the Raw matches and Cole and Taz doing SmackDown. So our opening match was a real shit fest or stinker, whatever you want to call it. For the World Tag Team titles, La Resistance defending the titles against the Dudley Boys.
Yeah.
And the Dudleys were having some issues with this team.
Yeah, but again with the anti-American, we already did this last year.
Exactly.
With the un-American. Now we're here again with La Resistance.
We're desecrating flags.
Yeah, but it's,
whether it be theirs
old,
or
but it's old
ours.
already. But it's not even. Forget that. It's just it's old. Do something different. Like enough. Apparently Vince loved this stuff. He loved this stuff.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Probably still to this day he'll do it if he can.
Yeah.
But I mean, they showed 2 weeks ago La Resistance buried the Dudleys under Old Glory. I didn't really appreciate that. And then of course the following week the Servicemen came out. The Dudley Boys had them in ringside. Unfortunately, he hits them with the flag. Turns out that's Rob Conway.
Right.
A future La Resistance member, and that's to me what really messed up that team is when they took Rene Dupree out, put him in, and then it was garbage. But it's not like they were an action-packed team anyway.
Right, yeah. They were the tag champions though, so
I did like their entrance theme. It was
yeah,
nice.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
But I mean, the match started in the entranceway, obviously, because the Dudleys are tired of these guys, getting the upper hand on them. It's funny because the Dudleys did hit the 3D on Rene Dupree, but Grenier pulled the ref out of the ring, which should have been a disqualification, but it wasn't. And all of a sudden, as they're getting the upper hand after the what's up, the cameraman comes in, hits Devon with the camera, and Dupree gets the pin. Turns out it's Rob Conway again, but they don't know his name yet at this time.
Damn it.
So, and then after the match, of course, he hits Bubba with the camera as well. And Spike came down, but that didn't help.
What the hell was he going to do?
I don't know. What was funny was towards the end with the Dudley Boys, he was the leader of the Dudley Boys.
Yeah.
That's when I knew it's over.
It was
brother.
over. Yeah, that's when you knew it was over. Yeah.
Once they had that concrete crypt match against the Undertaker, I knew it was done.
I didn't even remember that.
Yeah, it was. I think it was right after WrestleMania. So it was right around the time that they were going bye-bye. Because then Paul Bearer was exited after that as well. Thanks to the Undertaker. So right after the coach interviewed the Dudleys after the match, and Bubba had a few choice words for La Resistance. If you don't like America, get the hell out of here, pretty much, and stuff. Of course, then in the back they show Eric Bischoff getting ready for his match, and of course the Intercontinental Champion Christian demanding, why, the peeps need me on the show, and why am I not on here, and do you need any help? And I'm like, get the hell out of here, you little runt.
I thought it was actually a funny segment, though. I thought it was a funny segment.
It was, because he kept messing with Bischoff, and then asked him about the whole Linda thing.
Right.
Did you go all the way? He goes, I'm a gentleman, I don't kiss and tell, but I'll tell everybody later on when I get in the ring.
And Bischoff was just trying to warm up in the back, throwing the punches and everything. He was just getting ready.
Yeah, that wasn't going to work for him, brother. Because honestly, even when before this match, I knew watching for the first time, Shane was going to kill him.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I'm curious if Shane got a few cheap shots in with the whole WWE WCW thing.
I doubt it. Shane was a professional. I doubt it.
Maybe Bischoff did, but I don't know.
He wanted to keep his job. It
wasn't for much longer.
No.
So following that, they had showed at Vengeance the month prior what happening. A-Train injuring Stephanie McMahon, the hired hitman of Vince McMahon at this point. And then 3 weeks ago, he had targeted the Undertaker in his match against John Cena. Well, they needed something for A-Train to do. I mean, this is about the best it's going to get for him. I mean, they weren't going to really do anything else with him.
Pretty much.
So Vince has just got a hired gun to take out everybody that needs taken out. So our next match on the card was The Undertaker versus A-Train.
Mm-hmm.
This was a sort of a rematch also because remember they locked up at WrestleMania in a handicap match, which wasn't saying much because
it was supposed to be a tag team match
with Nathan Jones, and either I don't know what happened. Don't really care. Nathan Jones was just a
he came out at the
flash
end.
in a pan. Yeah, he helped him at the end barely. Like Taker needed the help against Big Show and Train, but whatever.
It still counts as part of the streak for whatever reason.
It does, but to me, it goes down as a handicap match, not a tag team match. I don't know how they have it down. I don't care.
Who the hell knows anyway?
It doesn't matter.
It's a rematch that nobody asked for.
Pretty much. But again, the Undertaker has to be, kept busy here. And of course, A-Train is the next guy now. To me, it's a step down for Taker for the second year in a row. A promotion for A-Train, but I ain't saying much. So he was accompanied to the ring by Sable. Of course, you look at it like, she's still there at this point because I'm like, whatever. It was funny because, Taker did go for the last ride. However, he was pushed into the referee by A-Train. A-Train did hit the derailleur on the Undertaker, but didn't get the pin on him. That's not going to work. Then again, Taker accidentally clotheslines the referee. So this guy's just getting knocked out all around. As A-Train hits him with the bicycle kick, still nothing going on. Now the match escalates as far as A-Train getting a chair, bringing it into the match, but a big boot from the Undertaker. Again, no pin. So Taker just, eventually once the referee is up and about, he gets the choke slam on A-Train, gets the pin. Undertaker is the victor here.
Thank God.
Yeah. After the match, Taker then went for the last ride, but Sable stopped him, trying to hit on him. He grabs her by the throat, looks at the entranceway, and here comes Stephanie McMahon out, and she just laid Sable out. So it was just weird seeing Taker and Stephanie on the same side here, considering what we've seen in the Attitude Era. But she is the GM of SmackDown. Taker is on SmackDown. So, and he is her hired hand, I guess, in this case. So now, following that, they show the video package of what's going leading up to our next match, which was originally just a one-on-one match, Shane McMahon versus Eric Bischoff. We find out later on during the match that Bischoff changes it. They showed how Kane helped Bischoff during his feud with Shane, and of course Shane has got his own problems with Kane.
There's a lot going on with Kane at this time.
Seriously, with the unmasking, and he's feuding with RVD, he's helping Bischoff, he's beating up Shane. He's got a lot going on. And, Kane helped Bischoff beat Shane on Monday Night Raw. Of course, Bischoff signed a contract that Austin gave him there, although Austin told him, you didn't read the fine print. He said it's the winner, of the next match, not that one. Bischoff versus Kane, where Kane didn't destroy him. He left. Bischoff gets the victory. Austin then informs him that the winner of that match gets Shane at SummerSlam. And of course, they show then Eric is in the back. They did a segment with him and Linda where he strong arms her, kisses her.
It's weird.
I don't understand why they did that. I really
because Vince is a weirdo. That's why. Because Vince is a weirdo.
Seriously, I'm sorry, but if I'm him, dude, I'm not writing a segment where somebody's kissing my wife.
Dude, supposedly he wanted to do some sort of an incest storyline with Stephanie. Supposedly,
I did hear about that.
I don't know if it's true, but anyway.
Thank God it didn't happen. No, but he fights his own daughter and kicks her ass. So, anyway, before the match even started, Bischoff grabbed the microphone and he was talking about Linda and what happened in the bedroom. And then, of course, as he's telling it, here comes Shane. Like I said, it was just supposed to be a regular one-on-one match, but out of nowhere, Coach comes and hits Shane with a chair twice. Bischoff tells the referee, do not call this match. I have just made this a falls count anywhere, no disqualification match. Okay. Makes it better for me because I know what's coming.
Yeah.
And so he also had the microphones turned off for JR and Lawler, which they messed up when Austin turned it on because Lawler had said something before Austin was even done saying that, so they just kept quiet. So Coach is doing the commentary from the ring, making fun of JR. And he goes, Shane, Shane, Shane. Oh my, he's just typical Coach crap at this point. I didn't like Coach at this point.
I never liked him. I never liked him.
I liked when he got abused by The Rock on.
Yeah. But I didn't like him. I liked what The Rock was doing. So.
No, but in any event, as this become a handicap match, Steve Austin comes out to the ring. I love how Coach tells him, "You can't touch me unless provoked." Of course, Shane pushes Coach into him, and Austin beats the crap out of him. I also love the fact that Austin, Shane had Bischoff knocked out, throws a slap to Austin. Austin, beats the crap out of Bischoff by stunning him. And of course, this match ends in typical Shane O'Mac fashion. He has Bischoff on the announce table, goes off.
Oh, he had him pinned before that, and he raised him up. He raised him up, and then he dragged him outside.
Yeah, a little bit more punishment for him. I was really kind of hoping he'd do a coast to coast on him, but I guess you can't have two of those in one night because RVD does it later.
Yeah.
So Shane goes off the top rope with an elbow drop on Bischoff. Just happens to kind of fall to where he can pin him because they're both out of it. The referee counts to 3, and Shane McMahon is victorious over Bischoff. Poor Eric, he's getting abused left and right, but can you blame him? But what the guy tried to put them out of business a few years back, so.
Yeah, but that's not why he even attacked him. It was about the whole thing with his mother and all the other stuff.
No, I'm talking about every time Bischoff gets in the ring, it's never ending well for him. But the storyline leading to this was pretty good. But
that was funny.
Again, with the whole Linda thing, just was
weird.
But weird. So following that match in the back, Ric Flair and Randy Orton are there. Ric Flair, trying to convince him that Triple H walks in with the title, he walks out the champion, and then, I love when Orton goes, "But what if?" And Triple H walks in. There is no what ifs.
This is good stuff. The evolution stuff is really good.
It really was, and Triple H even made it aware to Orton that I am walking in the World Heavyweight Champion. I am walking out the World Heavyweight Champion. So I thought that was pretty good. Our next match on the card was for the United States Championship, a fatal 4-way match. Eddie Guerrero defending the title against Chris Benoit, Rhino, and Tajiri. Of course, they showed that back at Vengeance, Rhino cost Chris Benoit the United States title, and Guerrero had won it. This match started out pretty good. I love typical Eddie Guerrero. He's staying on the outside because he's a target to everybody. He came in every so often to break up a pin or do whatever, slide right back out of the ring. It was funny at one point. Benoit and Guerrero each had a submission hold going in the ring, and I love how the referee's just watching both of them. But it would have been cheesy if you had a double tap out, but we didn't.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, thank God we didn't get that. Guerrero holding the U.S. title as Rhino gored him, I thought was pretty cool. He used it as a shield. Rhino knocked out, and eventually Guerrero hits the frog splash on Rhino and gets the pin. But this match was pretty good between everything you saw. Tajiri doing the tarantula, Benoit and the suplexes, headbutt. This was pretty good. It was a decent match.
It was. I'm not a fan of triple threats or like fatal 4-ways and stuff like that because I like one cohesive story between two guys. But it was fine because these are great wrestlers, so it worked out.
If anything, this could have been more Benoit versus Guerrero. Yeah. Rhino cost him the match, but Benoit gets the get the rematch on Guerrero, do a 1-on-1. So now following this was a hellacious video package. I kind of liked it, but I even liked it back then when they showed last Thursday what Brock Lesnar did to Zach Gowen. Oh my God, destroyed the kid.
Once Hulk Hogan left, that was it. Zach had no protection.
And Zach Gowen was supposed to face Matt Hardy on this card.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And that was over and done with for what Brock did to him. It supposedly broke his leg up against the post.
The one good leg.
Oh my God!
They didn't care back then, man. He was a bloody mess in front of his mother. Like pushed him.
He wasn't done with him either. The stretcher.
Pushed him off the stretcher.
The kid lost half his volume in blood.
I forgot when he throws him down the stairs. I don't think they showed it on this. So,
no, they didn't. Thank God. But
Lesnar
showed his true form. And then they show on Monday Night Heat Matt Hardy being the person that he is at this point, Mister
It's version two, right?
Version two,
Yeah.
has the referee declare him the winner by forfeit over Zach Gowen.
Oh, you won.
I mean, whatever. And then, of course, following that, they show the video package for Angle and Lesnar. This is going all the way back to
Yeah.
WrestleMania, where Angle had the broken neck. Brock Lesnar beats him. He has the surgery. He comes back. When he came back, they were friends because he said Lesnar was the only one that looked in on him. They show him drinking the milk. And I remember these back SmackDown segments, and every time I'm watching, I'm looking at my wife going, "When is one going to turn on the other?" Because
Well,
I see it coming.
I knew Lesnar was going to turn on him.
It had to be.
Yeah.
And then, of course, at Vengeance, Kurt Angle wins the title in the triple threat match.
Triple threat, yeah, with Big Show and Lesnar
and Brock,
yeah.
which was a good match. I do remember that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they're doing the storyline with Vince McMahon feuding with Brock Lesnar. So obviously, they're going to have the steel cage match. That night, I knew where this was
going to happen, yeah.
Because Angle was the special guest referee, and of course, Lesnar was attacked earlier in the night, so he's coming out supposedly with. He pulls the Shawn Michaels, just collapses, and all of a sudden kicks up and turns on Angle in the cage, and Vince has got his new toy. At this point, I really thought is McMahon doing another faction here, because all of a sudden he's siding with A-Train. He's got Brock. I'm like, what are we doing here? Are we doing another kind of corporation or something? But he never did. So with that all being a hoax, Kurt Angle is defending the title against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam once again. And this match, man, this should have been the main event instead of being the undercard to the World Heavyweight title, because this match to me was better and better outcome. This match was also, to me, a little better than WrestleMania 19 because even though Angle, gave it all he had at WrestleMania 19, he was still injured. Then, of course, Lesnar concusses himself on the shooting star press.
Yeah, so they were healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it was a better match. Yeah, this probably should have been the main event, but I understand the Elimination Chamber, the spectacle of it, why you would want that to be the main event, and it was for a belt too, so I get it. I understand storyline wise.
Yeah, it was also maybe the second annual Elimination Chamber. First one being a Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Like I said, this match they left it all out there. Angle reversing the F5 into a DDT was great.
Yeah, it was great stuff.
Fortunately, he didn't get the pin on that. He gets the Angle slam on Lesnar, doesn't get the pin. Now Angle was tossed into the referee. This is where it's going to get interesting, because Angle he went back to the Angle lock on Lesnar, and he tapped with no referee being in the ring. Lesnar, F5s him on one leg, which was pretty impressive, but doesn't get the pin. Another F5 reversed into the Angle lock, and this time Angle did get the submission on Lesnar, which is pretty much rare to see, even back then, that Lesnar's going to tap out. Now, after the match, Vince tried to hit Angle with a chair again, but Angle gave him the Angle slam on the chair instead, because earlier on Vince did come out, and again, looks like vacation Vince. I'm just not used to him wearing that, but all through 2003, this is what he was doing. So Angle, got the last laugh on Vince McMahon in this match. Now, following that, they showed a video package for RVD and Kane. RVD, they were the tag team champions at one point. RVD was befriending Kane, telling him you don't need the mask. I was shocked that they even did this. Now obviously the character has to evolve through the years, I guess, to stay relevant.
Yeah.
When they did this, I was shocked as all hell. And
I kind of felt like it was going to happen sooner or later, but it was still it was well done. I mean, either way, it was well done the way they did it.
He claims everybody's laughing at him. He went totally psychotic.
Became the monster again, which was actually pretty cool, because
this was the night that they changed his moniker too, from the Big Red Machine to the Big Red Monster.
Yeah, well, I prefer the Big Red Machine, but
I do too. But of course, then they show him setting JR on fire. nice
They
little
were
mannequin
crazy,
they
man.
had there.
What I don't understand this is I understand it's wrestling, right? Suspension of belief, right? I get it. I get it. If you set somebody on fire, you're not getting house arrest. I'm fairly certain of this. If
You're
you
going
set
to
somebody
jail for
on
3 to
film,
5 for
if you
arson
set somebody on fire on
and
film,
manslaughter or attempted
and not
manslaughter.
right,
Yeah,
and not only that, I'm pretty sure if you set one of your coworkers on fire, I'm pretty sure you get fired.
yeah, you're not working there anymore.
Yeah,
And of course, Linda McMahon says, "Oh, he's under house arrest,
but that
but he
doesn't
can
mean he
still
can't
come to
work.
work."
Yeah,
And
it's wrestling, man. It's
he comes
wrestling.
out in the chains and all
Yeah.
that.
It's like Michael Myers
Yeah, exactly.
transporting him. It's good stuff. That was the good stuff. This was good stuff. This was
Tombstone and Linda
yeah. Oh
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
process.
That's what started. Is that what started the issues with Shane?
Yes, he went after his mother, so
He has two
and
feuds
then,
going on.
and then of course eventually, the famous Shane getting the battery to the
I remember that.
testicles
Yeah,
shock. Oh my God, that was great.
that was no. This was great storytelling.
Considering that this is the ruthless aggression era, we're not in
Right.
the attitude era anymore.
Right,
They're
right.
still doing attitude era stuff.
Mhm.
Now, during this match between RVD and Kane, which was a no holds barred match, did you notice that JR was talking RVD up extremely?
Yeah, he was putting him over.
He deserves the world title. He's
Mhm.
he's the best on the roster for Monday Night Raw. He was really talking him up during this match,
Yeah, well.
and for good measure.
No, he was great, but
he
you're not
was
when
deserving.
you got Triple H on his reign of terror. It's not gonna happen.
And I've said this before. This was around the time that Triple H was doing his
The Reign of
burying.
Terror. The Reign of Terror is from like 2002 to 2005. Like the beginning of 2005 is the Reign of Terror.
Yep, pretty much.
The Golden Shovel, Triple H.
Because anybody that got that title did not hold it for long, because then he got it back. I was surprised Benoit ran with it as long as he did. Then, of course, Orton gets it, and we know what happens after that. Triple H, thumbs down. He's obsessed with the world title that he beat nobody for, mind you.
Anyway,
but
this was a fun match.
Yes, it was. I did love the coast to coast that he did on Kane with the, Kane tombstoned RVD on the steps and drags him into the ring for the pin. Kane had to get the win on this because if they're gonna if they're
building him
pushing him as the monster, you have to get this victory. And this was a well-deserving victory for Kane. I really enjoyed this match. This feud was great. The feud with Shane that's going to come up is even more psychotic.
That was a good feud too, yeah.
So Kane has been reborn on Monday Night Raw. Now, following this match, I love this. Terry Runnels is up in the back interviewing Bischoff, and he's just, what are you?
Yeah, the ice
blonde?
pack.
Yeah, blonde. You on crack? Get out of here. Of course, then Linda McMahon walks in, and he's all, and then of course, she smacks the ice pack, instead of slapping his face. I was kind of hoping she came in there with a damn taser gun and tasered his ass, but Linda got couth, and she's not going to do that. Of course, then they also showed Flair and Triple H in the back. Flair talking up Triple H. You're the champ. You're the game. You're the blah blah blah. Because our next match on the card for the World Heavyweight title is an Elimination Chamber match. And I'm not going to say this is better than the first one, but this is definitely in the top 5 of the best ever because of the roster that you had in it. You had Triple H defending the title against Goldberg, Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton, and the newly crew-cutted Kevin Nash, thanks to Chris Jericho. But
who's
Nash
the one guy that doesn't
heavyweight for the Punisher?
But who's the one guy that doesn't fit in there? Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash has no business being in that match. He's just Triple H's boy, and they put him in that spot.
The clique is back together.
Zero. Kevin Nash is way past his prime, can barely move.
He already had 2 or 3 title matches against Triple H, where he even lost in a Hell in a Cell.
Just because it's his boy. No business being in this match. Everybody else belongs in that match. This was actually supposed to be a one-on-one match between Goldberg and Triple H. The problem was Triple H had an injury. Triple H had an injury. He wasn't 100%, so they had to put more people in the match to mask the injury. So I'm fine with that. I understand the way.
Which is why not only did he come out last, but he hardly came out at all.
Right. It's the injury. Yeah.
So the match started with Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. That was a great start to it. Following that in the order was Orton, then Nash. Triple H was supposed to come out, and then Goldberg. Now, Nash, before all the participants were in, Nash was the first one eliminated by Chris
There
Jericho
you
thanks
go.
to
But
Shawn Michaels'
right,
super kick,
yeah, shades of
which
the old days, man.
I was just going to say that.
Shades of
We've
the old
seen
days.
this
Yeah.
time and time again, 94, 96. I mean,
Hmm.
it's just, why not one more time? Because Nash, okay, fine, I'm friends with you. I helped you up. I'm going to beat the crap out of you.
Right.
But Nash did not last long,
Two dudes with
unfortunately.
attitudes. See, yo.
Jericho pins him, and he's the first one out.
But then he doesn't leave.
No, he beats the crap out of
Yeah.
everybody. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, it didn't make any sense. But again, you said it. I agree. He didn't belong in this
No business.
match. This could have been Booker T or somebody else could have filled that spot because after he had all those title matches against Triple H, one more is not going to help because you're not winning it.
No.
So the next eliminated in the contest was Randy Orton by Goldberg, and this is where the match just
Oh,
took
it
off.
kicks up when Goldberg goes in there and starts destroying everybody. That's when
He
it kicks
took
up.
out Orton with a spear, Michaels with the jackhammer, Jericho with the jackhammer. Now, when Triple H was about to come in, Shawn super kicks him back
hilarious.
into the
That was
back
hilarious.
into the
Man.
pod.
I laughed out loud when I saw that.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. Oh, you're coming in? No, you're
Boom.
not.
Yeah.
I got you.
But they did a tremendous job with masking Triple H's injury. By
Yes,
doing
they
a
did.
spot like that, you buy him more time.
Yeah.
So, that was
So
great
he's knocked
stuff.
out for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then when it's down to Goldberg and Triple H,
Oh, but how about before that? Wait, before that, him
yeah.
and Jericho, when Goldberg and Jericho go at it, and Goldberg spears him through the damn glass. At first, it didn't break, but then it collapses.
No, he kind of pushed a little bit more. That's stemming from their feud that they had after The Rock. Jericho was the next one in line to take on Goldberg, and of course Jericho. It's all well documented. Jericho made him look bad in that match, and this was stemming from their WCW feud that Jericho tried to have, and they pretty much destroyed it on him because he was trying to make something of himself. So the feud then transpires in WWE, but Goldberg was on a roll in this match.
He's on fire. Everybody's going crazy. The man was the crowd was going crazy, and that's when the match picks up is when Goldberg just starts killing everybody.
Yeah, and I really thought at this point when it's down to him and Triple H, he's gonna win the title.
You see Triple H look scared. He's like hiding. It was good stuff. Ric Flair on the outside was hilarious.
He's holding the
door
with his feet.
Then he uses his feet. Then he starts giving Triple H I'm sorry, not Triple H. Goldberg the fingers. Oh God, this was great storytelling. I was laughing. This is great stuff.
Oh man, and then of course, what does Goldberg do? He couldn't get to Triple H, so he kicks the plexiglass.
Yeah, and JR says the indestructible or the unbreakable glass. I'm like, we just saw it break a few minutes ago.
Exactly.
What I didn't understand was when he goes in there and he starts attacking Triple H, the referee's trying to pull Goldberg off of him, and I'm like, well, what do you want Goldberg to do? He's got to get him in the ring to win the match.
Exactly. You're only in there to count a submission or a
he was supposed to have been
pinfall.
out of there. I don't know, whatever.
But this
was great.
One-on-one encounter didn't last long because Flair throws in the sledgehammer. Goldberg goes for the spear, and Triple H just moves and hits him with the sledgehammer and a 1-2-3 pin, and Triple H is the victor.
And it just sucked the air right out of the building.
Exactly. But I'll tell you what, and I'll get to the ending, the aftermath in a minute. I got what I wanted on my birthday the next month. Goldberg beat him for the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah, it didn't last
on my birthday.
Yeah.
The reign sucked because it was only Triple H he fought on pay-per-view until Armageddon, where he faces Triple H and Kane, and Goldberg doesn't even get pinned for the title. That pissed me off. This whole reign, the whole reign for Goldberg was overshadowed by Triple H, and it was just crap to me. But
another WCW guy, but at least he got the belt.
Exactly.
Later on, not this night, which he should have gotten the belt this night.
Exactly.
But
I've said it. I'm a Triple H fan, but from the time that we just discussed, I was like, this shit's got to stop.
Yeah, it's just
because it was too dominant. It was just.
It was always
and if he lost it, it's automatically I'm the next in line.
Yeah.
And then if he loses that match, I'm the next in line, and they just kept doing it.
But overall, this is a solid pay per view. It was entertaining. It wasn't a crap fest.
And the build up to the next pay per view was even better after they handcuffed him to the chamber.
Yeah. Oh, they threw him a beating. They threw him a beating.
The 3-on-1 beatdown.
Yeah, after the match. Yeah, that's right.
Triple H, Orton comes back out, Flair, and they just beat the holy hell out of him. A bloody mess. It's going to set up September, and when September came around, I enjoyed every minute of it.
All right, well, that's our review. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys soon.
Take care.